waterfront community who celebrates and embraces our 400 years of history and innovation while creating an even more dynamic future. At 413, we are the oldest continuously occupied English settlement in the United States. The first free public school was established here in 1634. While the first Africans were brought here as chattel slaves, the path to their freedom also began here. Fun fact, our town of Phoebus had the most saloons per capita before and probably during Prohibition. The first battle of the ironclad ships was fought just off our shores, advancing naval technology. The Air Force was born here, and Langley is the oldest continually active Air Force base in the world. From flight, we reached farther as the beginning of NASA and home to astronauts and the Hidden Figures. You wouldn't be able to eat seafood in this part of the country if a Hamptonian had not invented a way to preserve it. Our greatest asset is our water. We have been named to lists of the best and most affordable beach towns. We are also one of the U.S. communities at greatest risk from sea level rise, and so we have had to become a leader in resiliency efforts. Hampton University, one of the nation's top HBCUs, is home to the nation's first African American museum. Our mission: by working together, we provide outstanding public service that makes Hampton a place where people love to live, learn, work, and play.
Well, welcome, Hampton. We learned a lot just from the introduction, so thanks so much for that. Are you ready to begin?
Hampton!
Connected, engaged, inspired!
Then you may begin.
Good afternoon. I'm Hampton Mayor Donnie Tuck. I grew up in a safe environment that allowed me to focus on school, sports, and extracurricular activities, basically just being a kid. I had a cousin 2 years older than me who didn't have that. He died much too soon. Growing up in fear, hearing gunshots and knowing people who get shot isn't healthy. We want to be a community that engages and supports our young people. In Hampton, we rely primarily on residential real estate taxes for funding. Our home values are 1/3 less of the state average. Our residents can't afford to pay more in taxes, so when Hampton received federal recovery money, I committed to dedicate a minimum of 5% of those dollars to engaging our young people in violence prevention. Just helping our young people survive isn't nearly enough. We're helping them thrive.
I'm Letitia Handy. I lead the city's programs for youth and young adults. My staff has more than tripled as we dramatically ramp up our engagement with young people referred by courts, police, schools, and family members. But government can't succeed alone. Our grants enable successful grassroots organizations connecting with youth in the community to expand and reach more kids. When our congressman presented us with $4.6 million, he noted that far too often federal funds are used for political purposes. However, Hampton's data-driven approach gave him confidence that we would produce actual results. He stated, "Funding prevention beats funding prisons." That's right.
I was 7 when I first saw someone get shot. I was so close that his brain splattered on my shoes. When I was 11, my parents made me sell crack. When I was 14, my dad beat me up, took the crack to use, and then turned me into the police for having drugs. My name is Adrian Cook, and I was involved with the justice system from the age of 14 to 42. Programs in prison helped me to see the gaps that existed in my life growing up. I started a nonprofit to fill some of those gaps for some of the kids that are referred from juvenile detention. We help the whole family. We take them to school, we advocate for them in court, we do whatever it takes. I am a violence interrupter. I inspire hope. I tell my story so I can be the person that I once needed in my life.
I'm Najee Banks, and it's a miracle that I'm standing here. I've been shot at 4 times, I made some really bad choices, and I had a record as a juvenile. A lot of people tried to help me and say the right things to me, whether it was Miss Handy, my TT, who got me into some programs and helped me get straightened out. They helped me get a job, they helped me inspire to see me, they helped me get a job, they inspired me to see a better future for myself. Now I'm 20, I have a clean adult record, a good job, and a dream of owning hotels. Most importantly, I'm focused on being a great parent to my 2 girls.
I'm Sergeant Ashley Jenrette, In the Hampton Police Department, we analyze crime data weekly. We look at instances of violence, not in large sectors, but down to the block level. As a police officer, it is my job to make sure those neighborhoods are safe. It's also my passion. My husband and I run a nonprofit youth athletic league. A city grant helped us to take our teams into the top 5 hotspots for violence within our city. As the children played flag football, fellow officers joined me in connecting with the adults with resources in our community. It's efforts like this that I believe contributed to a 5% decrease in violence and a greater decrease in gun violence.
I'm Gabriella Hayes. When I worked for McDonald's, we started Coffee with a Cop in Hampton. One day, when 2 middle schoolers showed up to one of our restaurants, I encouraged them to go over and speak to the police, and their response was, we don't mess with them. But then an officer came over, talked to them, asked them about their lives, and really engaged. They made a real connection that day, and it changed their view of police. That moment inspires me. Now that I've changed jobs, I still do the same thing as a volunteer. I've organized Cookie with a Cop and Ice Cream with a Cop to draw in more young people. I believe in building trust between the community and the police, and my community kickball tournament brought in over 400 people last year, and I am hoping to double that this year.
My name is Margaret Wilson. My family was the first resident in Aberdeen Gardens, a Hampton neighborhood built for blacks by blacks in 1934. There weren't many opportunities at that time for home ownership for people who looked like me, even if they were a doctor or a lawyer. However, it was and still is a very special place to live. Police officers need to know the community that they serve, so we invite them to the new class of Hampton police recruits to take a tour of our neighborhood, a trip to our museum, and we serve them lunch. And by the way, I'm 83 young, and I'm still engaged.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Smith, Superintendent of Hampton City Schools. 8 years ago, we took an in-depth look at our school system. We defined the characteristics of a Hampton graduate. Today, this standard helps us prepare all of our students for success in careers, lifelong learning, and life. We transformed our 4 high schools to create 16 academies, each of which offers multiple pathways toward careers. The academies provide young people opportunities based on high-demand, high-wage jobs aligned with regional and state workforce data. We surround our students and educators with support systems that put their social and emotional health first. We inspire our students to see a world of opportunity and to develop skill sets that will meet our industry needs. As a community, we made a promise to our students. Now our promise is their reality. And with that, we have an on-time graduation rate of 97.6% and a dropout rate that is 0.6%.
So when I saw that Hampton was reinventing the school system, I got involved immediately. I'm Greg Garrett. I'm a realtor, I'm a developer, and an entrepreneur, and a proud graduate of the Hampton City School Systems. So right now there are over 300 businesses and community members that, like me, that have gotten involved to inspire and give real-world experiences to our students. Young people need to have a vision for the future. They can see themselves achieving more when they see people that once were in their shoes who are now leading thriving businesses. So my son moved to Hollywood when he was 19 years old. And for my wife and I, that was an absolutely horrible, horrible, scary idea. But luckily he avoided the pitfalls. He beat the odds and he became a successful actor. But now he's back in Hampton, connecting industry professionals with Hampton students, teaching acting and other aspects of filmmaking.
I'm Madison Rice. Monday is my last day of 9th grade. The transition to high school was a big change, but at my freshman academy, we all took the same courses, which made it feel almost like a family. It also helped me develop a positive sense of self and purpose. I'm engaged with the community as a Girl Scout. I experienced government and politics firsthand as a page in the state capitol, and I am an active member of the Hampton Youth Commission. Most recently, I served on a panel to update the curriculum, and that means I personally had a hand in developing community-connected, fun, educational experience for students in grades 3 through 8.
I'm Ayana Hollis, an 11th grade LGBTQ student. I have taken advantage of several opportunities provided to me by the city and schools, such as attending our local prosecutor summer law camp. As a junior city planner, I help and aid in awarding grants to youth organizations and even planned a candidates forum during our last city election. I want to give teens a voice and connect them to their community. As a student in the Law and Public Safety program, we hear from a variety of people in our field. We will be prepared to step into jobs as 911 operators, firefighters, or police cadets right out of high school or choose to further our education. My specialized education and experience are preparing me to become powerful, and y'all were praying, possibly rich lawyer fighting for justice.
Hi, I'm Kenny, a proud graduate of the class of 2021, the first class to graduate within the academies in the city of Hampton. In my academy, we took college-level courses right in our high school. I actually received my associate's degree before I got my high school diploma. That's crazy, right? I got my high school diploma. This gave me a head start at the College of William and Mary. My parents were pretty happy, as you can imagine, as they were able to save 2 years of college tuition. And over the past 7 years, families just like mine, just like yours, have saved nearly $4 million in community college tuition. This free special opportunity gave me and my classmates a start for college for people who couldn't afford it or just thought they weren't college material. And in my high school graduation speech, I challenged my class to continue to elevate their voices in the pursuit of equity and access, and to remember what we learned in Hampton City Schools, that our purpose is greatness, every day, every way.
That's right. I'm City Manager Mary Bunting. Hampton's community partnerships and engagement can be an inspiration to others. Just last month, the U.S. Secretary of Education visited our Hampton academies and said it was a national model of inspiration, that he'd love to see his students in such programs. This ribbon represents our circle of unity, the programs, the neighborhoods, the businesses, the citizens, the schools, the youth, and the city all working together to make sure all of our youth reach their full potential. Hampton.
Connected, engaged, inspired.